Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittany and the things that I make on this channel are my masterpieces. Thank you for joining me today, guys. Hi friends. Today's an exciting day. We get to go shopping for the remaining items in the master bedroom makeover, and I'm gonna head over to Ross, Marshall's, Lowe's. We have one central place in Tulsa where we have all of those stores called Tulsa Hills, so that is where I'm gonna go, and I could not be more excited. I have to get a few different things. I need some baskets for underneath the nightstands and some few little decor items, and then I'm gonna paint one of the walls a feature color, and I think it's gonna look really, really nice. I'm kind of nervous about it, but I think it's gonna go well. Bethany's back there playing with her little keys. It's her favorite toy, and we are gonna go. So let's go. This is the paint I ended up getting, the one that's marked, and I'm really excited. I think it's gonna be super pretty. It's called Forest Nightfall, and they recommended I get a quart for about 90 square feet with one coat. So that's good. It's like a really strong paint apparently, so you only need one coat. So I'm excited to try that. And I'm getting some potting mix because I have a flower that's dying. I need to replace the, the dirt. And hopefully I can get rid of the root rot. I'm gonna see if that works or not. But we're gonna head over to Ross and Marshall's. We're gonna pay for this stuff. The paint color that I got is almost the exact color that I wanted. I had seen a Pinterest post with that color, and I don't think they sold the paint here. It was like a French Pinterest post, and I don't think they sold that brand here at all. And I've had colors matched before to certain colors of different brands, but it just has never worked out for me. I always end up having to mix and match my paint on my own after doing that. So I decided not to go that route and just try to find something similar, and I found like the perfect color. It's gonna look super rich on the wall and elegant and just cozy, and maybe if I like it enough, I might do more of the walls in my house with that color because it's just gorgeous. We're gonna head over to Marshall's and Ross and see if we can find some matching baskets, because that's one thing I have not been able to find at thrift stores recently. And so we're gonna try to see if we can find something over there. And Bethany, oh my gosh, I can't get my seatbelt with one hand. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Hey, this might come out as total madness, but just wait. I really need to tell you something.
Are you having fun with me? Say, I'm so cute. I'm so cute. I think you're having a tooth come through. Let me see. Let me see.
With you, under street lights right next to the skyline. With you, yeah, you.
We've had quite a week. It's been a little bit intense. Bethany has been sleep training. She's sleeping in her own room now. Just a whole bunch of different things that have compounded into me feeling very sleepy all the time. But it's going good. It's going great. I just wanted to pop on here real quick and make a small video, even though I've been extremely busy with like home things and things to do with my personal life and mothering and being a wife and everything like that. I just wanted to do a little haul because next week is going to be the big reveal of my master bedroom. I cannot wait to live in there with the color that I picked. Oh my gosh, it's going to be divine. I cannot wait. Yesterday I went to Ross and Marshall's as well as Lowe's, and I got pretty much just about everything that I need for my room. There might be one or two things that I might pick up in this next week, but I got the most basic things that I was lacking to make my room a little bit more cohesive. And not that it's not cohesive now, but I think that this will just elevate it to the next level and be like top notch. Let me show you guys what I did yesterday. I had so much fun coloring this in. I'll insert a little clip right here of me drawing this, but this is my inspiration for the room. I really wanted to bring in some dark color to my room because everything is very light and bright with the exception of my headboard. And I wanted the headboard to be tied in a little bit more to the space. I was actually contemplating putting this chair in there, but we don't have enough room for it even if we slide the bed over. It's about like, I don't know, like 5 inches too big. I might find a different chair that could fit because there's some space on either side, but that'll be eventually down the road. I found this color green. It's not exactly this color, but I didn't have a coloring pencil to match, so I'll show that in a minute. But basically, whenever you come up with a design, it's really important, I think, and helps you to come up with a cohesive feel in a room if you draw out what you are aspiring to do. Even if you're not an artist, you can take your floor plan and look at it from above and measure things out and say, okay, this measures this, and this piece of furniture measures this, and this will fit here or it will not fit here. And then it helps you get a feel for, do I want to put some artwork over this little nightstand, or do I want to do something completely different? The other thing that I do a lot is I go into Pinterest and I put together all of my ideas. I just, you know, whenever I'm starting to look at a space and figuring out what I want to do, I like to look on Pinterest for initial ideas. And then what I usually do is I grab bits and pieces of things from different pictures or different design concepts, and I put them all into one, and it usually works out. One of the things that is super important in interior design is to have balance in a space. That means that you don't want something that is really heavy on one side and something is really light on the other, unless that's the look you're going for. It tends to look very mismatched and very heavy in a room, and a room looks kind of like it's on it, like it's tipping over. What I mean by that is if you have a piece of furniture that is very dark or very large in one piece of one section of the room, and you don't have something on the other side of the room to balance that out to make it feel more level per se, it will look very strange because your eye will only be drawn to that one piece of furniture. So you have to consider those things in design. And another thing that's really big is texture. Texture is so important, and I didn't realize how important it was until I moved into this home with my husband, and we started realizing, you know, everything seems really flat in here because we chose, and this is an eggshell, it's an eggshell paint color, and it's kind of flat. Not so much as matte, but it is flat, and we don't have much in our house that is textured, so we're lacking a lot of you know, different furnishes. So what I mean by that is glossy items, things that are shiny, things that are more matte than satin, different like textures such as fur or velvet or chenille or satin, something that has different texture. But not only can you get texture through fabric materials or different materials that you put on walls, like different paint textures and stuff, you can get it through pattern as well. I have a perfect example right here of this. Say you have something like this pillow. This pillow is furry, and it has actually texture in two different ways. It has texture in the fact that it is textured and it is furry, but it also has a little bit of a pattern on it. So it has some variation in color. It's not all white and it's not all brown. It has, you know, both in there. But you can mix this with something that is completely different, like this pillow right here that I got thrifted, and it has texture, but it's very subtle texture because the stripes are shiny in one spot and matte in another, and this is another example of texture that is not texturized, it's a pattern. Another thing that is super important when you do a space is color or the lack of color. In my house, I don't have a lot of color, but it's something that I'm wanting to implement a little bit more. I have a lot of, almost all my walls are white, and I have a lot of furniture that is this color, you know, and I have furniture that is made out of wood. So I have certain warm elements from the wood. But color can also make you feel a certain way. It can make you feel happy, it can make you feel a little bit sad, or it can make you feel a mixture of both. It can make you feel inspired. It's always important to consider what colors you're putting in a space, if any, because I know there's a big trend right now to not do any color, but it's starting to come back in a little bit, like with terracottas and reds and oranges and yellows and just warm colors that are so yummy and nice. But anyhow, I would say that those three are super important, and I would say the last one that's really important is lighting. You have to consider certain things in a space depending on where it's located in the house, whether it's north or south, east or west. Our bedroom is facing south, but it's against a house. So we don't get a lot of sunlight in that room. The house next door blocks some of our sunlight, and I've tried to make it very airy and light by doing bright colors such as the white, and I will be keeping a lot of the white walls, don't worry. I'm just doing a focal wall to kind of anchor the space a little bit, if you will. You can fix lighting issues by putting overhead lights if you can install something. This room, for example, doesn't have any overhead fixtures, and you would have to make a giant hole in the ceiling in order to do that. So we use ambient lighting such as lamps and candles and stuff like that. So I would say that those are the main 4 things that you should consider when looking at decorating your space. Hello again. I'm gonna sit on my little bench here because it's right next to all my stuff. Plus, you know, gotta change up the camera angles. Let's get into this. The first place I went to was Lowe's, and let me tell you, it took me forever to figure out a color for my walls, and then I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna pick one that looks exactly like the photo that I like, and I'm gonna commit. So I committed, and it took me way less time than it would have normally. I got some potting mix while I was waiting for my paint to mix up because, as I mentioned, I have a little flower that is dying. So anyways, this is the color that I got. It's swatched on the top here, and it is this color green right here where my finger is. It's called Forest Nightfall, and I thought that was a perfect name for this color. The next place that I went was Ross. And Ross usually has a lot of great baskets that match, so that's what I went in there looking for. I did have my list. Lists are super important. And this is what I got. I was looking for something light and natural looking. I don't really like things to look sleek all the way across. I like things that pop a little bit in color and texture. Good tip, don't take off your tags until you try them out in your room. That way you can return, keep your receipt, and everything like that. I tried to find 2 that matched exactly, and they didn't, but I wanted them at least to have the same size. So these don't match completely. Whoops. These don't match completely. This one has, you know, a different pattern than this one does. But you're not really gonna notice. They're the same color. So I finally just committed to those. The next thing that I found is some panels, window panels, curtains for our room. They have this really nice texture on them. They're gray. It kind of mimics our headboard in some of the grays that I have in my sheets. Then we went to Marshall's. There's a Marshall's right next to the Ross, and I think that's almost always a thing where they're next to each other. But at Marshall's I got, oh, I guess I should say the prices of everything that I got. The baskets were like $10 each, and then the drapes were $17, which I thought was a great price. This is so nice. I have wanted a blanket like this for a while because it has texture, and that is kind of lacking in my room because all of my bedding was white. It has a little bit of a pattern on it, but there's no color to it. And this obviously is still a lack of color, but I thought it would look really nice. It has that dark charcoal in it. It has the light gray of my sheets, and it has a tassel fringe on 2 different spots. And I thought this looked so nice. This was $20. Originally it was like $28. So I thought this was a good thing to put on the bottom of our bed. I was looking for a tray and I didn't find one that I actually liked, but I did find this super teeny tiny little cute clock. It's an alarm clock. This was $7 and originally it was $10, but it has the little, you know, the little ringer. I don't know if we'll use this because it might be way too loud with Bethany sleeping right across the hall. But isn't this sweet? I thought this was so cute. And people don't really use alarm clocks anymore, so I thought it would make a really nice addition to our bedroom. So I've been wanting one like this for about a year, and I have not found one like this until today. And it kind of reminds me of Mickey Mouse. It's really cute, you know, with the little ears. I don't know why these always remind me of Mickey Mouse, like with the 2 little ears. But it's not, it's just a regular clock, and I love it. I hope that Roberto's not annoyed by it because I think it ticks, but, or maybe it doesn't. It doesn't look like it has the second hand, but this was a great find. All right, guys, so I hope that you will join me next week for the big reveal of our bedroom. I have a lot to do this week, the remainder of this week and next week, to finish this video, paint my room, and putting everything together. I have a few things to order online, and I will see you next week. Cannot wait. I seriously am so excited. Bye guys, have a wonderful week and be blessed. You're so happy. I need to clean this up. Messes.